Alright, ladies and gents, welcome back to another one-point perspective video. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about a one-point perspective interior project. So it's going to be the interior of a room, okay? And here's how you set that up. You're going to do a box around the outside first using your straight edge, okay? So leave about a ½ inch, and with your straight edge, draw a box around the outside. You guys are going to use a pencil. You're going to do it super light. That way you can darken what you want to keep later on, and you can erase very easily what you don't want to keep. So we got a box around the outside. You're then going to take your straight edge and you're going to make diagonal lines through the middle. Now this is very important that this is light, because a lot of this is going to get erased. So I'm actually going to use a pencil for right now, and then I'll darken it in a second. 2 diagonal lines. That's actually going to establish where my vanishing point is, which is right in the center. You do not need to draw your horizon line because we're on the inside of a room, and you know, you can draw it, but we just don't need it. Okay, it would be something that was erased later on anyways. Alright, now think about when we were doing the 9 boxes, the 9 cubes, the 9 letter L's, you know, all those different setups that we did that had 9 all the way around, and it had 1 in the center. This is the one that's in the center, and we're just drawing the corners of the room by doing that X, okay? So if these are the corners of the room, we need to decide where the back wall of the room is, okay? So the smaller I make these lines back here, and I would go straight up and down, straight across, straight up and down, straight across. If I made it a really small box like that, and then I erased this in here, that would be a room that goes very deep. So it could be like an airport, or you know, a bowling alley or something like that. If I make that a little bit bigger, then the room becomes a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm actually going to draw these lines now. This is going to go straight up and down. This is going to go straight across, and straight up and down. So now they should meet right on the diagonal lines. And now I'm going to go ahead and erase these lines that are on the inside. Oop, wrong one. You can leave the vanishing point for now. You're going to have to draw towards that, and we need to know where it is. I don't have the best eraser here, but you guys understand. Just look at the dark lines. Alright, so now I'm going to go back in and darken only so you guys can see these diagonal lines of the room. But later on, if let's say I put a piece of furniture up against that wall, I'm not going to see that part, so that would get erased. But what I'll do for this video is I'll just put an X over it, if that happens. Or I should say when that happens. Alright, so we've got our room set up, okay? So this is basically going to be, you know, maybe a bedroom or something like that, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to populate this room with different pieces. So you're going to do 5 pieces of furniture, and it could be furniture or objects. As an example, you can use like a table, you can do a bed, you can do a couch, you can do a chair. For objects, you can do a lamp, you can do, let's say, like a poster on the wall. You know, you could do anything that would sit, like a TV, that would sit on top of your furniture, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drawing a couple different things here, and you guys can just kind of get the idea of how this is going to work and how it ties into the letters that we've already done, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to, let's say I'm going to do a chair. You want to pick a point on the wall that you're going to start this chair, okay? Because the chair itself, if it's pushed up against the wall, is going to touch the floor and the side wall, okay? Pay no attention to all of these lines that you have drawn. Pretend like you're just doing a one-point perspective drawing now that we've already done, okay? So this is going to be our front face. We're going to draw up, we're going to draw in and down and over, and now this is where it has to touch the floor. So you got to come down, we're going to go in, up, over, down, over. Okay, so it's kind of like the letter H, and we've been doing letters. Now you can already see where the back corner of the room, this corner here, we shouldn't be able to see that through the letter. So you would already go ahead and start erasing that stuff. And I'm talking about this point right here, and I'm talking about this point right here. Those would be erased, okay? You would then take your straight edge, and you're going to draw this super light because you're going to want to erase the extra lines later on. I'm actually just going to stop when I hit the back wall, and I'm not going to go all the way to the vanishing point. So you check your corners, just like we normally do. Now with my marker, some of this is going to look really close, so let's just pretend that that was about that high. Okay, this corner is going to go until it hits itself, and the other ones will not go. Okay, now this chair here is an over, down, over, down. So back here, straight over, straight down, straight over, straight down, and you would erase these lines. But the corner of the room you would leave back there. I should be able to see the corner when the chair is done. Okay, because the chair is in front of that, right? So the next thing you're going to do is, if you want, you can open up the front of this by dropping a line here, by going towards the vanishing point, by dropping another line. And then, just like this corner goes in, up, this one right here would go in and up. Because you got to show the second side of that leg. I've got two sides of this leg, I've got two sides of this leg, and two sides of that leg now. And you would erase that. Alright, so that's what you would do for a chair. Okay, let's flip that sideways so you guys can see it. Alright. The same shape could be used for a couch, okay, if you wanted to do that. You just wouldn't open up this part here. You would make it like the letter B without the inside part. And then the couch itself is going to drop down in the middle, so I'll show that in a couple minutes, okay? I'm actually going to draw one more thing. I'm going to draw a table over here. This table is going to go straight up. It's going to go across. It's going to go, and you don't have to stop here. It could come into the room further. That just ended up being where I stopped it. You're going to come straight down onto the floor, and these two legs should be the same length. So they come down so that this would go even across. You'd go in, up, over, down, over. Then the corners go. This one is just going to go a little bit because we want to see the inside of that leg. So it goes a little bit and then it goes up. The back lines. The legs on the side. This one now goes towards the vanishing point. And then it goes down. You would erase that. This leg is going to come in before it goes up. So now we've got two sides of each leg that we can see. Now the fourth leg, you might be able to see that. The only way to really know is if you take this line right here and bring that across, and you can see that we would see it down there. You would then take this back corner and bring that down, and you're going to see this go towards the vanishing point. This is getting kind of tough in here with the marker and with the pencil. But hopefully you guys understand and you can see my pencil lines. Let's see if we can get that a little closer. Yeah, tough to see. Alright, so that would be a table, right? Now I'm going to flip to another sheet here and I'm going to get away from the room idea, because I want to draw a couple more things. So let's say I had a vanishing point up here. Let's say I was going to draw that couch. You can do curves too. I can curve this down. Something like that. You always draw the front face first, just like we did with the letters. So if the couch is facing sideways in the room, then the side of the couch is what's going to be your front. The thing about the curves is that, so this corner draws like normal, but you got to find out where the curve starts and where the curve ends. And those 2 points get drawn towards the vanishing point. This corner goes, this is the start of that curve, this is the end of that curve. Back here, it'll do this. It'll go curve down, over, curve down. So you'll mimic the same exact move. Curve, down, over, curve, down. Now the inside part drops down like I was saying before. So maybe we want to take this and go like that. And go like this, and then you're going to drop a line from here and you're actually going to draw away from the vanishing point, which I already have a line there, so that worked out. But you're going to draw that. This is going to go across. It's going to follow these lines. And now this is the bottom part right here where you would sit down. You could put a line down the middle if you want. You could follow that line up. Oop, that should have been an up. Alright, something like that. Now we're not getting crazy here. We're not, you know, it's just, you're just showing me that you understand one point perspective and that everything is going back towards the vanishing point and that you can draw back lines. Okay, let's do a lamp. Actually, let's do a rug real quick. A rug is really easy to do and it makes it look nice. So a rug is going to go long ways in the room, but the front face of that is going to be a really short box. Not a great box, but it's okay. You're going to take the corners and go back. And you're going to draw a back line. And you're going to erase the extra. And then you just draw some kind of design on that rug. You know, whatever you want to do. Alright, how about a lamp? Let's see. The lamp is going to be the same kind of start. But it's also going to start going up like this to a point where that then goes up. And now things will start drawing towards the vanishing point. I should be able to see two sides of this. If it's round, you're only going to have the outside lines and it'll be a curve, but there's really no way of showing that curve, so I just drew it like it was a box. Two different sides, right? And then for the top, what you can do is you can start with an ellipse like this. An ellipse is just an oblong circle, and you can put a little curve at the top like this and draw like that, and this should technically go into that lamp like this, so you can do something like that. Alright, again, it's really hard to draw with a marker, so please don't draw with a marker. You guys are going to use pencil and you're going to darken it later, and anytime you make a mistake, it would be very easy to erase. Okay, so like I said, you're going to do 5 pieces of furniture. Or I should say 5 pieces of furniture or objects. I'd count this as an object. You're going to do a door and you're going to do a window. Okay, so a door and a window. By the way, a poster on the wall would be the exact same way that we did the carpet. Alright, you would start with, you could actually just start with a line like this and you draw that towards the vanishing point, and then you drop a back line and then draw on there whatever you want. Okay, and you could start with it like this if you want it to be a TV or something. TV on the wall, that would give you a top point here. And then maybe like a border. Buttons. Alright. Now that design I would take out of there if it was a TV. Okay. Alright, so flipping back to my room. So if I wanted to do a doorway, I would just start with a line that touches the floor and draws straight up. And you got to think about if this room here is about an 8-foot ceiling, which is normal. It's like, you know, your bedroom ceiling or any ceiling in your house, 8 foot, 9 foot. It's going to be a little bit higher than halfway up, something like that. But it's not quite going to go all the way up. You draw the top across towards the vanishing point. You drop a back line, so that would get erased. That was extra. And then maybe just put a little door handle on there. You can also open up the door and draw walls like this. Forget the door handle. You would erase this line because there's no corner there, and the room would be open to another room. The only thing is, if that room is the same depth as this one, then you would actually take the bottom part of this room and you bring that straight across and you would draw it right there. And now this is the wall and this is the floor in the other room. A window is the exact same way. You start with a line, draw back towards the vanishing point, draw a back line, and then you can put like some window panes, right? That's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Alright, so this is, you know, it didn't come out great with the marker, but it is what it is. It's a lot easier to draw with pencil. Alright, so I appreciate you guys watching. This is a big project for you guys. It counts as 50 points, and you guys will have probably about a week or so to do this, so you got time. Alright, so what I would do is I'd practice these first, what pieces of furniture you guys want to do. then I would start drawing the room itself and putting those in the room. Okay, so again, I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Later.